We all know that communication skills are crucial for any relationship. And when somebody has those skills, oh my gosh, they make so much of an impression to you and to me. But we've also had those moments where we're really nervous to talk with people because we don't know how our request or our message will be received. Well, this podcast, fortunately, is going to go over all the things, the science, the tips, the tricks, and the ways to make sure that you can have the best relationships that you can through the way that you communicate. And after listening to these episodes, you can do so fearlessly with confidence, knowing that you can be relatable to anybody you choose. Welcome to the Attractive Relationships Podcast. Your words when you communicate have so much power, and it can be almost surprising how your words can have such a strong influence on other people. So, if you are trying to influence people to maybe do you a favor, or maybe you're in a leadership position to where you have to communicate in a way to get people to do hard things that they might want to give up on or not work as hard on, this podcast episode is for you. And in this situation, I'm going to tell you a story about a particular woman and how words were used and a way of communicating were used to encourage her to do something that was incredibly difficult for her. And at the end of it, you might be surprised at the results. And it's more than just she did the hard thing, it goes beyond that. So here's what happened. This is an experience that I had as a fitness coach. There was a particularly hard group workout that I had the privilege of coaching. In fact, it's one of my favorite workouts to coach for the entire year because it feels like you're playing a game, a little competition, as opposed to just working out, which sometimes can be boring and monotonous depending on what you're doing. But this is fun. It's competition. You have a goal to get. And it's very, very tough. And you partner up with somebody for the purpose of reaching a particular goal. Now, this one particular partner group, there's two people, two women, and one of them I had never seen before. I assumed she was either new to the group workout or she was at least new to me. I didn't know at the time, but she seemed very positive when she showed up. And then with the excitement that was shared for the workout, she seemed very excited about this workout that she had never done before. I would come to find out later. And then she took her first turn in the partner workout. And the way this partner workout, just to give you context, she had to be on a particular piece of cardio equipment for a while, waiting for her partner to relieve her, and they would take turns on this cardio. Now, this particular woman, after she took the first turn on the cardio, and when she was relieved, she looked absolutely exhausted. And that nervous excitement that she began the class with, now you could just see it on her face that she was just self-shaming and judging and feeling bad because as somebody who's new to fitness and somebody who had maybe been a little bit out of shape, she felt like she was letting herself down. She felt like she was letting her partner down. And there's a little bit of embarrassment that was potentially mixed in there too. Now, how did I know this as a coach? It's not because she told me this immediately. It's not like she just jumped up and said, I'm so embarrassed or I'm so ashamed. You could just see it on her face. And how many times have you come across somebody who changed, like their whole mood changed? Or maybe you've come across somebody and you recognized that they're not their normal self. And sometimes it's kind of hard what to say if you should say anything. One of the skills about being a fearless and effective communicator is recognizing that you can still say something. And if you say things with the right intention in the right way, more than likely it's going to be well received. And the book Never Split the Difference with Chris Voss, he calls this a cold read, right? It's you simply are looking at something, you assess it, And then when you walk up to that person, you give verbally, audibly, a cold read, meaning you say what you see. And in the case of this particular woman, what I saw was somebody who was working very, very hard and seemingly seemed disappointed by her results. So the trick is that when you do the cold read, this is a good tip for those of you who are trying to get people to do hard things or trying to get people to do you a favor when they may not be feeling the best. The trick is that when you go for that cold read, that you definitely apply the third of the 3 C's we talk about with attractive communication. And that is courtesy. You avoid using language that further shames them or judges them for the work that they did or the effort that they're putting. So how was I able to do that with this particular woman, and what kind of effect did it have on her? Well, I walked up to her, cold read, and I led with curiosity first, and I said, "Hey, I don't think I've seen you before. Are you new?" So leading with that kind of curiosity to help open things up, and of course I come with a smile. I'm very open with my gestures, and so these are the things that kind of lead with warmth and curiosity. And she said, "Yes, this is my second week here. I've never done this workout before." I said, "Wow, this is a really tough workout." Now, that was just a cold statement of fact. And it was also blending in that cold read, because what I saw was that the workout was tough for her. But instead of saying the workout is tough for you, I just said this is a tough workout, or it seems like a really tough workout. That's a statement that doesn't judge her, it judges the workout. And with that one statement, she was like, "Yeah, it is really tough. I had no idea it would be this hard." And then her face, you could just see it, like she's reliving her moment that she had on the cardio portion of this workout.
Hey guys, real quick, I am sure that all of us have had the moments where we're a little nervous or afraid to talk to somebody because we don't know how they're going to respond. Are we going to be able to talk to our life partner without them getting upset? Or are we going to talk to our boss to get that raise or that interview for that job? Uh, if we ever get nervous in those moments, we have to fearlessly communicate in a way that's effective to get the things we want and need. And if you want to know how to consistently do that, there's a formula and a program on exactly how to do that. And it's called the Be Fearless and Effective Communicators Program. If you are interested in learning more about that, you can click the link that's in the show notes, or you can go to attractiverelationships.com/fearless.
Well, our goal in effective communication is to motivate her and inspire her to continue to do the hard things and to not quit and to not give up. Now, a lot of other people would influence her how? Maybe you've been to some classes where they would influence by, "Come on, you can do it." Just simple positive words of encouragement. Or, like a drill sergeant, "Can't stop, don't quit." Like David Goggins, who he has a lot of good information, but that guy is very intense. And not always that intensity or that passion or that logic that's not necessarily the way to be the most effective, depending on who you're talking to. So after making that cold read, I was like, "Man, this seems like a really tough workout." "Yeah, it's so tough." I made another cold read statement that applied the technique of courtesy. That's, again, not using judgment or shame. And what I said, it was, again, just what I saw. "It seems like you worked very, very hard, and you may have even worked harder because you knew you had a partner waiting for you. And I suspect that you are working harder now than you ever thought you would have, and you're working harder than you would have if you didn't even have a partner." And she's like, "Yeah, that's right." And then with just that, you can see her face starting to brighten up a little bit. She started to like shift her perspective to something more positive. After that, it's then again, this is the wonderful part. I really want all of you to have this experience because you can see things change in the person in real time when you are effective with your communication and when you are fearless about the skills that you have and being able to use them to influence people for the better. Because right when her face changed, it was like, I know I've got her now. I know she has something in her to continue to do the hard things. And so all I said after that is, hey, this is your first workout. You're doing a fantastic job because this is your first time doing something really, really hard. And I see your effort, and you've got a really great partner who also understands that you're making great effort too. You're gonna have a great workout at the end. And she said, thank you so much. And no surprise, she finished the workout. And at the end of the workout, this is the beautiful part. Her and her partner high-fived each other. They were smiling. They were exhausted, but they felt so good. Now, here is what was really beautiful that I got to witness. I just saw and heard from afar. Her partner's name is Maria. And Maria is a fantastic person to have in the gym, and she's a hard worker. She's super nice, super sweet. And she followed up, not knowing what I had said. She just followed up and continued to praise and encourage this young woman who is new to this kind of group fitness high intensity workout. And in that conversation, Maria led with curiosity of, hey, what's your name and where are you from? How long have you been here? And then proceeded to make sure that her language was void of judgment and shame and full of praise and encouragement, gratitude and admiration. And so this is the part that was a bit surprising, was not that this new person to the gym had finished a very, very tough workout. But after talking with Maria, who spoke in such an effective and positive way, now this new person who at one point looked like she was about ready to give up on the workout and maybe say, this isn't right for me. This woman now decided to say, I heard there's a specialty workout, a week of special workouts that are really hard. I think I'm going to sign up for those. Again, someone who's coming from, I feel, shame and embarrassment to, wow, I did hard things and I'm going to prove that I can do even more hard things. If you are a leader, wouldn't you want that from your boss? From your boss. Yeah, sure, your boss too. But why wouldn't you want that kind of attitude from your teammates, from your employees? When you have that kind of attitude, because sometimes you go into work and it's not always fun. Sometimes you have to deliver news from an upper level that requires change that nobody wants to do. Or sometimes you have to ask that favor from a friend. Hey, can you help me move? Ooh, who wants to do that, right? How do you get people to do hard things or things that they may not really want to do, and then somehow be happy that they did and willing to do it again? If you are an effective communicator, the way you speak can really inspire people in a way that not only gets them to do more of what we know they're capable of, but more appreciative of and grateful to you to help them see their greatness. That is the power you hold with just your words and how you deliver them. And so if you want to be in that leadership position where people like you and respect you and are willing to do the things that you ask and feel good about it because you ask them and set it in such a way. If you want to be fearless and effective, if you want to inspire people, continue to listen to this podcast. Sign up for the newsletter, because every week there's free tips that go into exactly how you can do that, how you can be fearless and effective when you're communicating and still be likable. You can still stay within yourself. You don't have to be the passionate person. You don't have to be the most logical person. You just have to know how to speak in a way that's effective. Speaking of such, make sure to click the show notes for more information of upcoming events that'll help you to be the most fearless and effective communicator. And Maria, if you ever hear this episode, thank you so much for the help that you provided that day. Your influence on this one particular woman was more helpful probably than either of us really know. For the rest of you, have a great rest of your evening or day whenever you're listening to this podcast, and I look forward to catching you on the next one.
As we come to the end of another episode of Attractive Relationships, I want to express my gratitude to you for tuning in. Your support really does mean the world to me. Now, if this episode brought you any value, I would truly appreciate it if you shared this podcast with anyone that you think could benefit from our discussions on effective communication and relationship building. Until next time, remember, great relationships start with great communication. So stay curious, stay compassionate, and keep building those attractive relationships.